All right, guys, you made it into the final video, and this is going to be the most important one that you watch throughout this entirety of the tutorials. So pay attention and please watch this all the way through. It is important. This is going to be an expectation video, what you can expect to see from me in this program and what I expect to see from you as well. 4 things that I want to go over with you in this video today. The first one being expectations for tracking. What do you need to be doing day in and day out? And that includes tracking the macros that we have agreed upon, which may look different for every single person. We may not even do it right away, but that is gonna be something that we're gonna be doing eventually. And if that's part of your task, it needs to be completed. Second is going to be your weight. Third, workouts, if we have you doing workouts, and then progress photos. You don't need to be taking progress photos every single day, and we've likely already talked about this, but we do progress photos once a month here. But I would encourage you to take more than that. I personally take photos every time I go to the gym. I want to see where I'm at, just so I can have a backlog and look back over the months and see, what's changing. Because a lot of times we won't see the scale moving, but we'll notice things physically changing. We're getting more tone, more muscle, fitting better into our clothes, but the scale continues to say the same thing. So all of those things are gonna be really important for us to understand that we need to be on top of. And at the end of the day, I can put all of that in an app for you. I can have the tasks set up for you. I can remind you day in and day out to do the work, but I can't actually do the work for you. So that's where holding yourself accountable and completing those tasks daily is gonna be really important, because without any data to base off of, we have nothing to coach on. So that's the first thing. Second thing is you're gonna be seeing weekly check-in forms every single week on Sundays. Those need to be returned to me by Monday morning at the latest. Otherwise, I likely won't have time to get to them until later in the week. And then at that point, it's gonna be Wednesday or Thursday when we get the weekly check-ins, and we're already closer to the next week, where if I send you goals for that week, we're just so behind. So the weekly check-ins they're a really great tool, and it's a way that I get biofeedback from you guys so that I know how to coach you best moving forward throughout that week. I will give you action plans and goals for that week. We can kind of revamp, change things on the fly if we need to. But if I don't get that returned to me in a timely manner, then we're kind of just behind and it's not going to work out very well. So please get those back to me as soon as possible, and I will get you a response as soon as possible as well. With that, there's also going to be bi-weekly check-in calls that need to be scheduled. I will have these tasks for you. Like as soon as you open up the EverFit app, you're going to see these tasks on your day. So every Sunday, you'll have a weekly check-in form. You log in, it'll be right front and center. And then every other week, you'll have a task for setting up a bi-weekly call with me. And that will have my Calendly linked in there. So all you have to do is click on that link, find a time that works for you, hit schedule, and you're done. I do ask that you please do that every 2 weeks when you have the task pop up, because I can't be tracking down everybody trying to make these calls scheduled. It just becomes too much. It's a cluster, and then there's back and forth. So it's best if you guys find a time that works better for you and you book it, and then I'll be there and we'll do the best we can. So third is going to be, please respond to my questions. When we go through those weekly check-in forms, I'm likely gonna have questions for you based on your feedback. And a big part of coaching is feedback. That is pretty much all coaching is based on. Without feedback from you, I can't coach and guide you correctly. So the more information, the better. Really pour it on me. I wanna know all the details, mentally, physically, what's going on in your life day to day. How are you feeling? The more the better. And if we have that good communication between each other, we're gonna have a really great experience, and you're gonna make a lot of great progress. So that one's really important. And then lastly, just have fun with it, guys. Like this, I know this seems like it's a really big step for you, and there's a lot that can feel overwhelming, but I like to say that nothing is ever too serious, right? We're gonna have weeks where you don't hit the goals that you wanted to hit. You don't feel quite as good as you want to feel. You don't look as good as you want to feel. We can always bounce back. We can always improve. We can always adapt, right? So never look at yourself and say, gosh, what the heck? Don't get too frustrated. It's okay. There's gonna be hurdles in the way, but that's my job, is to help you clear them, and we're gonna do it. So have fun with the process. We're gonna make a ton of progress. We're gonna have a lot of fun. And just be consistent, hold yourself accountable, and I will promise that I will hold myself accountable as well and deliver on what I have promised for you. So with everything being said, that's gonna do it. Again, if you have any questions, please let me know. And then this last step in the email that you received is to track those 5 days. Don't change anything. Remember, it's just kind of a tool for me to see where you're at currently. We don't want to make too big of changes to the body at once. So it's a way for me to understand where you're at so I can meet you there, and then we'll start from there. So without further ado, welcome to Clearing Hurdles, and I can't wait to get started.